Okay, so come to standing at the end of your mat and then sit yourself down. We're going to start with some gentle warming up, stretching of the lower back, and then roll yourself back, one vertebra at a time. Get yourself into the relaxation position, so your feet and knees hip width apart. The position of your feet so that you can feel the same amount of weight all around the foot. You're not putting more weight through your heel, so your toes just feel nice and flat and light on the mat. Release any tension in your knees and your thighs, both at the back and the front. Make sure your buttock muscles are switched off. Pelvis is in neutral, and make a very gentle connection, not a massive connection, just a sort of a hello to your core. So lower transverse abdominal and your pelvic floor, just enough to know that it's there. And then have that sense of length in your spine away from the pelvis, nice and open between your shoulder blades at the back, but also nice and open across the chest and the front of the shoulders. No arching in your back in any way, so just let your ribcage settle onto the mat. And again, you'll probably feel a gentle connection in your abdominals and your core. Have your arms gently lengthened by your side without creating any tension in your hands. That just gently draws your shoulders away from your ears. And have your neck lengthening away from your shoulders and release any tension in your face, especially your jaw. Just relax your jaw, release your tongue inside your mouth, and generally soften your face. So stay here for a couple of breaths to get your breath deeper than just your upper chest. Still keeping your body nice and relaxed, breathing in through your nose and softly out through your mouth. So gradually lengthen and deepen that breath. Don't try and make it too deep straight away. So you're bringing all your focus onto your body, relaxing your body, releasing your mind, so you start from a good place when you begin your exercise. So keeping this sense of focus and relaxation, we're going to do our glute and piriformis stretches. So bring your right foot to the outside of your left thigh, take hold of your right knee and draw diagonally up across the body to your left knee. Keep your shoulders relaxed, still keep every part of your body relaxed, but just take the stretch so that you get a nice gentle stretch in the right hip, the right buttock. So your right foot should be right on the outside of your left thigh, and don't let your left knee drop into your midline or you'll lose that stretch. It's almost a gentle connection, the outside of your thigh on the outside of your right heel. And to increase this stretch, you just bring your right foot further up the outside of your left thigh, depending on how tight or not you are. So we just relax into this. If you're particularly tight, visualize your breath going into that area of tension and allow it to release. So keeping hold of the right knee, now bring your left leg up and you can reach your right foot. So you're drawing both your right knee and your right foot towards you using your hands, but you're also using your left thigh. Again, get to a level where you can just relax into it, but you're still getting a good stretch. And breathe into this. And while we've got our left foot off the mat, let's do some ankle circles. Let's loosen up that ankle. Do some ankle circles in both directions. And also scrunch your toes and then spread them wide just to get a bit of individual movement in the toe joints as well. So still your left foot so you can focus on the next stretch. Keep pulling your right foot towards you, but push the right knee away from you. Not the leg, the right leg stays up towards your upper body as much as possible. So still keep using your left thigh, but you're pushing the knee away and drawing the foot towards you. And that just clocks into a slightly different area within the buttocks. It can be quite intense, so just take it to a level where you can breathe and relax into it. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. As it releases at one level, you can gently increase it to the next. And now take your left foot back on the mat and let your right leg hang over your left thigh. So the back of the right knee is right over the top of the left thigh, arms by your side, palms down to keep your shoulders stabilized. And take your knees and hips slowly and carefully over to your right, and you can turn your head to the left. So let your right leg be nice and relaxed and heavy over your left leg. So it's gently drawing your left hip off. Just check that you're not tense anywhere there. Keep your jaw relaxed and turn your head as far as you can to the left so you get a gentle stretch in the right side of the neck with both your shoulders away from your ears. And we'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Now to come back to the center, use your core, get your back on the mat from the top to the bottom so you never come back with an arched back. Keep the legs crossed as they are and take the knees and the hips over to your left, and you can roll your head to the right. So you'll get a gentle stretch in the left side of your neck now. And now your right hip has come off, but if you want to draw your right hip off a bit more, if you're reasonably flexible, put your left hand behind your right knee, and then you can take the right hip off a bit more, but make sure the right shoulder blade still stays on the mat. And we'll relax into this for a few breaths. So you get a nice, gentle stretch in the lower back, into the hips as well. You can keep turning your neck a little bit more as well. Gently increase that stretch. And then use your core, come back to the center without arching your back. Uncross your legs back to hip width apart. So let's do the other side now. So take your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Take hold of your left knee and draw up and across the body to the right shoulder, keeping the right knee in line with the right hip. And have a gentle connection to the outside of your right thigh into your left heel. Remember, each side will be different. One side might be tighter than the other. So just treat each side independently. Increase the stretch. You draw the left foot further up the outside of the right thigh. So keeping hold of the left knee, bring the right leg up and reach the left foot. So one hand on the left foot, one hand on the left knee. Draw them both towards you using your hands and now your right thigh. And let's do some ankle circles on the right ankle. Go in both directions. And then you can do some toe scrunches and then releasing the toes, spreading them as wide as you can. And now let's do the third stretch here. So keep pulling your left foot towards you, but push the left knee away from you. Still use your right thigh so that left leg is up towards your chest as much as possible. And we'll relax into this. Use your breath. Visualize that tension releasing. Don't take it so far that you can't relax. And now drop your left foot back on the mat and let your right foot back on the mat and let your left leg hang over your right thigh, arms by your side, and take your knees and hips to your right and roll your head to the left. So now your left hip has come off, but if you want to take it a bit further, you can put your right hand behind your left knee and pull that left hip over a bit more, but keeping your left shoulder blade stabilized on the mat. Turning your head to the left, get a gentle stretch in the right side of the neck if you're tight there, keeping your shoulders relaxed, your jaw relaxed. This is a really nice thing to do in bed, actually, before you get out of bed. If you tend to wake up with a slightly tight back, this is a really good way of loosening it up while you're nice and warm and cozy. Now, come back to the center using your core, not arching your back. Keep the legs crossed as they are and take your knees and hips over to your left. You can roll your head to the right. And now you've got your left leg drawing your right hip off, so you don't need your hand, but just let that left leg be nice and relaxed. Don't hold on to any tension there. And if you're at all tight on the outside of the right thigh, you'll get a nice stretch here. And then use your core, come back to the center and uncross your legs back to hip width apart. So let's do a little bit of core work now and get our balls. If you've got a ball to do the core work on, can you double click on my picture? So if you haven't, you can just do this on the mat, but keep your pelvis in neutral. If you've got a ball, when you get on the ball, it tends to want to tip your pelvis a bit to the south. So you have to really just draw your core, your pelvis around using your core bit, so there's no arching in your back whatsoever. So if you haven't got a ball, you can definitely have both hands around your waist. If you've got a ball, either have one arm or both arms, depending on how strong your core is. And then using your core, come into a double knee fold. So we're going to do some heel taps to begin with. So flex your feet, hinging from your hip socket, don't change the angle behind your knee. On an out breath, you drop your heel to the mat, and on an in breath, you bring your knee back above. So let's do 12 of these. So you'll do 6 on each side. Alternate for the 12, pulling in your core. Don't let the pelvis move at all as you drop the heel down. Use the core to draw that leg back up. If you lose your balance, stop, regain your stability before you start again. You should feel that lower transverse abdominal working. I'm going to do one more on each side after this. And then hug your knees into you. So then the next set we'll do is when we point the foot up to the ceiling, we'll lower it towards the floor, keep a straight leg to draw the leg back up to the ceiling and back into a double knee fold. You only need to lower your leg as far as you can maintain neutral pelvis. This is slightly harder than the heel tap, so if you had both arms around your waist, you might want to just have one arm. But anyway, come back to your double knee fold position with the knees above the hips. So breathe in and point one foot up to the ceiling. Get a nice stretch behind your knee and then lower that leg towards the floor. Then use the core to draw that straight leg back up to the ceiling and bend back into a knee fold. And then do the other side. As you lower one leg, the other knee stays above its relevant hip. Use the core to draw that leg back up and back into a knee fold. So continue. We're going to do 10 of these, alternating again. Make sure you stay in the middle of your ball. If you find yourself going off to one side, stop, recenter yourself, and come back to the center. The lower you take your leg, as long as the pelvis isn't moving with you, you start to get a stretch across the front of your hip as well, which is a nice stretch. And the more you have your ball inflated, the harder it is, so you can challenge yourself or not, as the case may be. If you find it too much, you can always let out a little bit of air. But just be slow and precise. There's no point if you're wobbling all over the place or you're not using your core. The idea, oops, there's she, having a little wobble there. think this is my 10th. And then you can hug your knees into your chest. So then come out of your double knee fold, again always using your core. Never let the pelvis come with you. And then if you've got the ball, lift up your pelvis, take the ball away, and then curl your spine back onto the mat. So we're going to do the full teaser today. For those of you who want to just keep your arms by your side, do. The full teaser is with your arms above your head. You breathe in, you roll yourself up, and you come up to starting position. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, you tuck your pelvis under, your legs and your arms come back at the same time. So you can either always come back with your arms by your side and then circle them round to start with, or you keep your arms by your side, curl yourself up, and then tuck your pelvis under, and then you can either take your arms behind you or just straight down by your side. So we're going to try and do 6 of these. With the arms, starting with the arms above your head, it is quite difficult. You might just finish 1 or 2. It's entirely up to you. But if you find that you can't do the full 6, then just finish off with a few of your straight roll backs and roll ups. So in your own time, let's do 6 of these. If you've already started, then you might want to do a bit more, or you can just have a little rest. And then I'm going to take my arms behind my head and curl back around. Remember, you're not coming up the straight back, you're curling your spine off. So you come all the way up, try and have your arms and your legs parallel, try and keep your arms above your legs when you're coming up as soon as possible. I'm going to do a couple more. And one more. And then circle your arms back round by your side. Well done. So that's a lovely one for your spine, gets your abdominals as well, and it stretches behind your legs. So let's do our obliques now. So 3 sets of abdominals we're doing this morning. We've done our transverse abdominal, we've done the muscles that run up and down in the center of our spine, and we're now going to do the ones that wrap around our rib cage. And we're going to do, if you can do the full advanced one by staying curled up, then great. If not, if you can only do so many, then just come back to this being your starting position. But everyone come into a double knee fold. Keep the knees above the hips. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, curl yourself up. Bring one elbow to the opposite knee and lower the other leg. Come back to your starting position, which is still curled up to the tips of your shoulder blades. As you rotate round, you're looking towards the elbow that is going to the floor. And as you lengthen one leg away, you draw the other knee in. So your hips stay absolutely still. So see how many you can do. You can always have a little rest and join again. Wanting to do 20 in total. So you're using your abdominals to stay curled up, not your neck. You're not pulling on your neck in any way. Just really pull in those abdominals. It's quite hard work. But just keep going. Have a little break if you need to and then rejoin. I think this is my 15th. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, I'll count it as my 15th. One more on each side. And then curl yourself back down and hug your knees into your chest. And then come out of your double knee fold. Slide your legs away along the mat. We're going to come to sitting. Either put your hands on top of your thighs. If you've got a bad back and you want to come to onto your side to sitting, then do it. If not, roll yourself up. Sit tall. Let's get a nice stretch over our legs, lengthening from the lower back. Keeping straight behind your knees, lengthening your body over your legs from your lower back to get a nice stretch. And then sitting nice and tall. Okay, let's do our side legs. So get your little head cushion. Fold it in half and put it between your underneath arm and your ear. And start with your body in one straight line. And then hinge from these hip creases to bring your legs forward at 45 degrees. At no point does this hip ever roll back. So try and keep this hip absolutely straight up. So it's a horizontal, a vertical line even from your hips. Then take your top leg back in line with your spine. Your spine's a bit further back than you think, and at hip height. Flex the foot and then reach that leg away, and this lifts this bottom part of your waist off the mat. So keep that leg stretched away. You can either have your hands just lightly on the mat, or just, I like to have it on the front of my hip, then I can just check I'm not rolling back. So keep that leg lengthening away, lengthen up, get to the top and then go a tiny bit more. That's when you really feel it coming into the buttocks. Keep lengthening the leg away as you come back to hip height. So up, get to the top, tiny bit more, and then back down to hip height. At no point is your lower waist touching the mat. It doesn't move, your body doesn't move at all. It's just your leg that's working. And up a bit more. And then keep going up, lengthening up, 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 up. So the idea is to see how far you can get your leg up without your waist hitting the mat underneath. I'm going to do 2 more. And it should feel that working in the buttocks. If you're not, take your leg a little bit further behind. So back to hip height and now point your foot. So keep this hip forward, but take that leg back. At hip height, go down to the floor of the mat and up to hip height. So the further behind you take your leg, the more you'll feel it in the buttock. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So bring it back in line with the spine now, but still at hip height. Go down to the mat. Stay along the mat as you take the leg behind you. Bring the leg up to hip height and then forward just in line with the spine, never in front of the body. Down, behind, up, forward, down, behind, up, forward, down, behind, up, forward, down, behind, up, forward, down, behind, up, forward. 2 more, down, behind, up, forward, down, behind, up, forward. So starting in line with the spine at hip height, take the leg behind you. Keep it behind you as you go down to the floor, along the floor, back in line with the spine, and up to hip height. Behind, down, forward, and up. 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 Keep going. We're doing these rectangles. Behind, down, forward, and up. 1 more. Behind, down, forward, and up. So at hip height, in line with the spine. It's as if we're going round a football. Try and do 5 in each direction, just isolating this leg, scooping the floor of the mat on the bottom part of the ball. Keeping the body still and just isolating the leg. When you've done 5 in this direction, you reverse. 3, 4, and 5. And now bend the knee onto the mat. You get a nice stretch in the buttock. Hopefully you've really felt it there. So let's do the inner thigh of the underneath leg. Take the underneath leg back more or less in line with the spine. Just lengthen the leg just off the mat and turn the knee up towards the ceiling. We're going to do 8 with a foot pointed and 8 with a foot flexed. Lifting that inner thigh, working from the inner thighs to the underneath leg, trying to get the upper inner thighs to meet and squeeze, but without transferring any weight to your top knee. So you're isolating that underneath leg. Once you've done 8 with the foot pointed, then change to a flexed foot, but still keep the knee up towards the ceiling. So you're working from the inside of the knee all the way up the inside thigh. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now come into side chair position, and we'll do a nice side quad stretch while we're here. So bring your top knee towards your chest, reach the front of your ankle, heel towards your buttock, and then you take your knee away from you. So don't arch the back, tummy in, hips forward, but just isolate the leg going back. And you should get a nice stretch to the front of your thigh. But keep the top hip forward, keep the tummy pulled in and the hips reaching forward, and reach away your knee away from you. Feeling quite tight here this morning. So you're aiming for a straight line between the front of your body, along the front of your body and the front of your thigh, without arching the back. Oh, lovely stretch there. Okay, so release that, come on to your other side, and we'll do the other buttocks. So starting in one straight line, get a nice long body both at the back and the front, and then hinging from these hip creases, bring your legs forward to 45 degrees. Don't rock that top hip back at that stage. So keep this top hip forward, top leg in line with the spine at hip height, flex foot and reach that leg away through the heel. Keep it lengthened away as you take the leg up, go a little bit higher than you can get to, and then back to hip height. Up and a bit more, keeping the tummy pulled in, not dropping the waist onto the mat. So go high enough that you can start to feel it in the buttock, and then you take it a tiny bit further. And even when you bring the leg down, keep it stretched away from you. 3 more. And 1 more. So back down to hip height, in line with the spine, and point your foot. Keep this hip forward and take the leg behind you as far as you can go without arching the back, down to the floor, up to hip height. So as you bring the leg up, don't let it start creeping forward. The further behind you can keep your leg, the better. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now back in line with the spine, it's still at hip height. Go down to the floor of the mat, stay along the floor as you take it behind you, up to hip height, forward just in line with the spine. Down, behind, up, forward, 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 down, behind, up, forward. 1 more, down, behind, up, forward. So at hip height, go behind you, then go down to the floor, along the floor, back in line with the spine, and up to hip height. So we're going to do the reverse of these rectangles for 8. Again, as you take the leg behind you, keep the hip forward, don't arch the back, tummy in. That's 4. 5, behind, down, forward and up, behind, down, forward and up. 1 more, behind, down, forward and up. Now the circles like you're going around a football between the hip and the floor. Scoop the floor on the underneath part of that imaginary ball. Try and do 5 in each direction. The body staying absolutely still, just isolating the leg. And then you do it in reverse. Again, the further behind you go, the more you'll feel it. It's only just a tiny way in front of the body, if not all the circle behind you. 4 And one more, 5. Then bend the knee onto the mat. Get a nice stretch in that buttock. Take your underneath leg more or less back in line with the spine. Lengthen the underneath leg just off the mat. Turn the knee up towards the ceiling. Pointed foot to start with. It doesn't actually matter which order you do it, pointed or flexed, but do 8 of each. So you're using your inner thigh from the inside of the knee all the way up the inner thigh. Keep the leg straight as you lift it and as you lower it. Don't transfer any weight to your top knee. And when you've done 8 with foot in one position, you change it. So you'll do 8 with the foot flexed and 8 with the foot pointed. Still keep the knee turned up towards the ceiling. It's not very much, it's just a touch. Five, 6, 7, and 8. So then come into your side chair position for our side quad stretch. Bring the top knee towards the chest, reach the front of the ankle. So never grab your ankle up here, you twist your sacroiliac joint. Keep the heel towards your buttock and then take the knee away. So tummy in, hips forward, so you're not arching the back. Just lengthen your bent knee away from you. I think this is one of the best ways of getting a quad stretch, actually. So keep pushing your hips forward, tummy in. Take the bent knee back a touch further. Keep it at hip height. And then you can release it. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to come on into 4-point kneeling. If you want a quick sip of water, have a quick sip of water. I'm going to have a quick drink. Okay, so we're going to come into 4-point kneeling. Come reasonably towards the head end of the mat so that you've got space to take your legs out. So make sure you're in a good 4-point kneeling position. Your wrists are below your shoulders, hips are above your knees, your feet and knees are hip width apart. So if you look between your knees, you shouldn't see your feet, they should be directly in line with your knees. Your neck is in line with your back, shoulders open and away from your ears, pelvis in neutral, so you just can sort of fit a little spoonful of water in your lower back. Keep your tummy pulled in for that sling of support underneath you. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some planks. Remember, when you go into your plank, you're not shifting your back. It's like you've got a tray of glasses on your back and you have to keep that absolutely still. So all the work is coming from your core. We're going to add just 5 press-ups and then we're going to come out of that plank. Then we're going to repeat that a few more times. Okay, so take a breath in. As you breathe out, use your core, don't shift your back. Take one leg away, tuck your toes under, and then lengthen the other leg and tuck your toes under. And now add your press-ups if you want to. You don't have to do 5 even, but no more than 5. And then to come out of this plank, again, you just bend one knee until it comes under the hip without shifting the back either way. So alternate the leg you lead out with first. So when you come into your next plank, take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull in your core, don't move your back. As you take one leg away, tuck the toes under. You don't lift your body at this stage, you just straighten the other leg and add your press-ups. Just up to 5. And then you come out of your plank without lifting your body or your back. Going to do 2 more like that, alternating with the leg you lead with. Take a breath in. Breathe out, pull in your core, don't move your back. Take one leg away, then the other. Add your press-ups. Then come out of your plank, using your core. And if you need to come off your wrists at any time, do, and then just rejoin when you can. Take a breath in, breathe out, pull in your core, take one leg away, then the other. Add your press-ups. and then come out of your plank. Then bring your feet together, keep your knees where they are, and come into your rest position. You can do some wrist circles here as well. Breathe into your back in the rest position. Do wrist circles in both directions and clench your fists and flick your fingers to release those forearm muscles. And then come back into your plank. So now we're going to do our Achilles stretch in a plank. So let me quickly demonstrate it. You're going to come into your plank in exactly the same way without moving your back. Then you're going to bring one leg up, and then you're going to rock back through the other Achilles. You don't lift your body. Keep your body straight, rock straight forward and back. You'll do 3 of those, then drop that foot, and then come out of your plank. So we'll do a few of those. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Take your time to come into your plank properly without moving your back. Take one leg up and rock back through the other Achilles. So your body's staying in a straight line, it's going straight forward and straight back. 3 on one side, then lift the other leg and do 3 on the other. Then drop that foot down and come back into your plank. Going to do 2 more of these. Take a breath in, breathe out, take one leg away, then the other. Keep those feet hip width apart, bring one leg up and rock back through one Achilles. Drop that foot back down, bring the other one up, rock back through here. Drop that foot back down and come out of your plank. Let's come off our wrists just to give them a quick break and do some wrist circles. Even if your wrists aren't hurting you, it's good to not overdo it. And let's do one more. So back to feet and knees hip width apart. Take a breath in, breathe out, come into your plank. Lift one leg up, rock back through the Achilles. Drop that foot and then the other leg up. Keep the back still all the time. It is rocking back and forward, but it's not going side to side. Drop that foot down and then come out of your plank and come back to sitting on your heels now and do our wrist circles here. So we're going to stay sitting on our heels with our toes being tucked under, and we can lean slightly further back. Again, we get a nice stretch through the quad and through the knees. And then tuck your toes under and stay sitting on your heels just to stretch out the sole of your foot. If you find it gets excruciating, you just come off, get a bit of circulation back into your feet, and then come back on again. It's good to stretch out both the sole of the foot and the front of the foot. And then come off. Good. Okay, that's excellent. So we're going to do a side lift stretch now, so still working the upper body. Now I did send the tutorial to you last week, so hopefully you've got that. If not, if you haven't had a chance to look, do what you can and then have a look at the tutorial afterwards. So we come to sitting on one hip. The heel of that hand is in line with the hip. Make sure that you've got at least 90 degrees, if not a bit more, but on this underneath knee. So if that foot is too near to you, then lengthen it away a bit. But this is in line with this hip. So keep this hand here on this knee to stop that knee coming in. So remember, you're going to transfer your weight to the top foot and this arm here. So we're going to do 5 each side. If you find you can't do the full 5, then just do however many you can. So breathe in, start bringing your arm up, breathe out, come into your side. Lift, stretch, stay here, take a breath in. As you breathe out, use your underneath abdominal muscles to control yourself coming back down, so you come back to your starting position. Breathing in and breathing out. Stay here, take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, come back onto the mat. Take a breath in, and then come up and breathe out. Stay here, take a breath in, and then control coming back down. Try and come down with this knee still out. Make sure it hasn't flopped in. Let's do 2 more on this side. Breathing in and breathing out. If you can squeeze those legs straight, stay here, take a breath in, and then come back down. And 1 more on this side. Breathing in and breathing out. Stay here, take a breath in, and then come down on your out breath. Well done. Come, swing your legs around and come onto the other side. Take a few moments to get yourself set up. So the underneath heel of the hand is in line with that hip, at least 90 degrees, if not a little bit more, behind the knee of the lower leg. And you're really tucking this heel into the front of your underneath ankle with the knee up in line with the hip. This hand here to keep this knee open. Take a breath in. Remember to transfer the weight onto the top foot. Breathe in and breathe out. Sometimes on the first one you have to adjust your feet and then they'll be in the right place. Stay here, take a breath in. Breathe out. Use your underneath abdominal so you don't just flop back onto the mat, back to your starting position. Breathing in and breathing out. Stay here, take a breath in. And then come back down on an out breath. Controlling, that's it. And then remember, one side might be stronger or weaker than the other, so just do what you can. Nice breath in here. And then coming back down. 2 more if you can manage it. He's strong in that supporting arm. And then come back down, and 1 more. We're going to do some nice arm shoulder work in a minute to release all this. And then come back down. Oh, that's a good way to start Monday, isn't it? Okay, excellent. So let's do a nice relaxing exercise, and we'll do our chalk circles. Now, we haven't done the arm weights today, but if you do have one of a light arm weight, then you get a slightly extra stretch if you use one of those weights. So you're going to get roughly about a 3-inch cushion. I'm using a yoga block, which is 2 inches, and one of my head cushions, which is 1 inch. Make sure you've got everything out of the way so you don't knock anything over. And then come to lying on one side, with your legs in chair position, your shins parallel to the front of the mat, and your underneath shoulder away from your ear. Nice long in the front, long in the back. And then whenever your head falls, push the cushion so it's nearly all behind you. Don't adjust your head, adjust the cushion. So I'm going to use this light weight. If you have one shoulder that's maybe been injured and you don't like to overstretch it, then don't use the weight. So we're going to do 6 of these on each side. So keep your head on the cushion, just follow the movement with your head. So you're looking towards your hand as much as possible. There is a bit of a blind spot as you go behind. Keeping the arm as low as your shoulder socket will allow. Still looking at your hand over there so you get some movement in your neck. Bring the ball over the hip, over the knee, onto the floor and in front of these fingers, and you get a nice stretch between your shoulder blades. Now, if at this point you can't stay low, then bring it higher. If necessary, bend your elbow and lead with the elbow until at whichever point you can start to straighten it again. So just listen to your shoulder blade. Don't force anything. This is amazingly good at gently loosening it up, but you don't want to overstretch it. Keep your knees together, but the top hip can lengthen away from the top knee, and then you get a nice opening through the front of the body too. At no point are you arching your back. So keep your tummy in, your ribs in. So let's do One more, I think it's one more you can always do. It doesn't have to be exactly 6, roughly 6, but I think you need a minimum of 6 to loosen up. So if you want to do one more, then do. And then come on to your other side. Take your time to get set up. Don't rush into it. So you want the underneath shoulder to be away from your ears. You have your shins parallel to the front of your mat, a nice long body, both at the front and the back. The arms straight in front of you. And if you don't have a shoulder problem on this side, then you can have your light weight, even a tin can if necessary. So shoulders away from your ears, tummy in, and then let's start on this side. Keeping the knees together, but lengthening your top hip away from the top knee, over the hip, over the knee, stretch in front of your fingertips. So you don't have to lift your head, just let it roll. And there's a point sometimes when you take your arm behind you where you feel a really nice stretch across the front of your chest. And you can always hold that for a breath or two, just to really open out across the front of the chest and the front of the shoulder. Let's make it nice and smooth and flowing. I'm going to do one more after this. And then you come back to your starting position. Excellent. Okay, so we started last week doing our rollovers. For those of you who've been coming to my classes, I would have been doing it for a few weeks. So let's see what we can do this week. We're going to probably do it quite a few weeks so that you can start to make some progress. So get rid of your head cushions. I'm going to take my clip out and I will run through the various levels that you can do this. So if you haven't done this before, or haven't done this for a long time, it's not going to come just like that. So do be patient, just do what you can, but don't create momentum because you will then hurt your back. So roll yourself back, bend your knees. And then for those of you who know this exercise and want to go straight to the full version, then just do that. We're going to do six in total at whatever level you want. All of you will have your arms behind your head. For those of you who want the challenge, can have your arms up here. So I'll start with, if you're doing the one with your legs, ankles crossed, you definitely want your arms behind your head, not above your chest. So have your ankles crossed, have your knees in, draw your knees towards your chest. If necessary, you can grab hold of your feet and draw them over. Just at whatever level you can come up, and then keep your knees into your body. Roll your spine back onto the mat, one vertebra at a time, and never take the knees beyond the hips. Keep the knees in. So that's one position. The next one is having the legs straight with the heels flexed. Lift your heels up to the ceiling and roll yourself over. Never come onto your neck, just onto your shoulders. If your feet can go low because you stretched out on your back, you can hold onto those feet. Give yourself a stretch and then use your abdominals to come back one vertebra at a time. And then the full version is starting with your legs on the floor. But as you lift the legs off the floor, you don't arch your back. So you have to really use this lower abdominal. So you bring your legs up, flex as you come to the ceiling. Don't create momentum, then just roll over, just onto your shoulders. So it's as you stretch up behind the legs and the back that your feet start to go to the mat. You're not by going further onto your neck. And then always lengthen away from your neck to come back. And as you lower the legs to the floor, don't arch your back. And then to do the full one, you have your arms above your chest. So just keep going at your own rate. Even if you just can lift your lower back just one vertebra off, hold that there and then come back down. You're starting working your abdominals from the base up to the top. And I'm going to do 2 more. When you can do this exercise, and it's not very easy at all, and you've just done virtually an hour of exercise, but it's brilliant for your spine and your abdominals. Just keep using them to get those legs over. And then come back down. And then bend your knees back into the relaxation position. Good, well done. That's a hard exercise, but it's a lovely one. Okay, so come to sitting again, either rolling yourself up or come onto your side. Whenever you come to sitting, sit tall and get another stretch over your legs. Never miss out on stretching behind those knees and legs. And then let's come to standing. So again, to finish off with our roll downs, just going into a downward dog with the calf stretches. And we're just going to do this in a really nice, relaxed way. We'll come to standing without using your hands if possible. So come to standing at one end of the mat. So we've opened out our spine in quite a lot of different ways this morning, but this is just a really nice way. And just really think of it as a sort of way of just focus and totally let your mind just be completely focused on your body. Just really have an awareness of all the different parts of the body, how they're feeling. So almost do it like a sort of form of meditation. So you can have your eyes open or closed. Keep the feet hip width apart. As you breathe in, lengthen through your spine, but keep the shoulders down and breathe into your rib cage. And then start from the very top of your neck, all 7 vertebrae. Just come down at your own level, keeping the same amount of weight through both your legs. Don't go onto one side. Keep your weight through the center of your foot. Let your head just hang, your jaw relaxed, your face soft, your arms just coming for the ride. And let's hang here. We hang here for at least a couple of breaths. Breathing into your back now. As you breathe in, you really feel your ribcage expanding at the back, and it stretches all those muscles that run either side of the spine. And then when you're ready, if you need to bend your knees so your hands reach the mat, then do so. Come into a downward dog. The longer the downward dog, the harder it is to get your heels to the floor. So only do that if you're not too tight. Head between your arms, and then bend one knee as you stretch the other foot, the other heel towards the mat, getting a nice stretch in your calf. Come up to being on tiptoes with both your legs before you swap over. Keep the hips level, so you're using your core to lift. You're not just lifting from the hips. So just straighten the legs, back to straight legs before you swap over. So really hold that stretch. Especially the first set, you don't want to hurry it. You really want to get that stretch as much as you can. Never sink into your wrist. Keep your arms straight. I'm just going to do one more on each side. And then come on to tiptoes and see how much you can get how far you can get both your heels to the floor. Now you can either walk your hands back to your heels, or if you want to challenge yourself, bring your feet back up to your wrists. And then you curl yourself up from the pelvis, pulling in your core, shoulders stay relaxed, get that pelvis all the way back into neutral. And then the rest of the spine just floats on up. So if you've walked your hands back to your feet, you'll have to come back to your starting position, but we're going to do 2 more of those in as relaxed a way as possible. Breathe in to lengthen through your spine. And then roll yourself down. Stay at the bottom of your roll down for at least 1 breath, if not a couple, focusing your breath into your back. And then get yourself into your downward dog. Reach your hips up to the ceiling, your head towards the mat before you start your calf stretches. So if you find you've taken your hands a bit far away and you can't get your heel anywhere near the mat, bring your hands a little bit further back towards your feet. So you're not shifting your body from side to side, your body stays in the center. You're just bending one knee straight in and the other heel straight down. Do up to 8, so you'll have done 4 on each side. But if you find you're not getting a stretch at all, you can just come back a bit before and just focus on the roll down. So you can either bring your hands back to your ankles or your feet up to your wrists. Scoop in your core when you start to roll up, not your buttocks, just work from your core. Pelvis all the way back into neutral, and the rest just floats on up. And 1 more. We'll add some extra hamstring stretches into this one, so start your roll down as normal. Hang at the bottom of your roll down. Breathe into your back, shoulders relaxed. Make sure your face is completely soft. Head just hanging as much as it can. Not holding on to any tension there. And then walk yourself into your downward dog. And then start your walking on the spot. I'm just going to do 1 more on each side. I'm loosening up nicely now. And then see how far you can get both your heels to the mat. Either walk your feet forward or your hands back. And now we'll stay at the bottom of this roll down and bend your knees so more of the hand can reach the mat than you could otherwise. Then keep your hands in that position and then see how far you can straighten your legs. So keep nice and grounded through your heels and lengthen your buttocks away from those heels. Don't snap open behind the knee. Really stretch and ease it open. Let's do about 5 of these. Call these the extra hamstring stretches when you're in a roll down. And then when you're ready to come on up, scoop in your core and then tuck the pelvis around and get the pelvis all the way back into neutral. And lengthen the neck up last. Well done, everybody. I hope that was a good start to the week. Really enjoyed working